Dr. Shiva meets his nemesis. Another celebrity strip show presented to you by the Great White Kali. Our subject today is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, the internet celebrity with 4 university degrees. Are you impressed? Imagine the money. No, I am not impressed. I quit college once and university once. And after regaining my sanity, I returned to complete a master's degree in 8 months. That's as fast as humanly possible. I would never subject myself to more. 2 degrees is really too many. But Shiva really need, did Shiva really need 4 degrees? Dr. Shiva allegedly invented email at the age of 14, well before his first degree. But the claim of inventing email is disputed by people who are not interested in financial gain. There you go. There's one article covering the subject. Oh, maybe I should share it. Yeah, there you go. Well, take that for the evidence, all the evidence I can offer on that subject. It's not really so important to me. So, um, I'm not impressed. Nope. He has many patents too, and a few $1 million. I'm not impressed. Neither is Jesus. Neither is Kali. What else did Shiva invent? Cytosolve, a technology for modeling complex biological phenomena to facilitate multi-combination medicine development without animal testing. Hurrah. But we don't need it. Test good foods on yourself. Let your body be your laboratory. Listen to it. That's what wild animals do in their ecosystems, and they're doing quite well if we leave them alone. Cytosolve, really? Cells are not things to solve. Cyto means cell. Cell solve? Dissolve, the origin, the root of solve, or the original meaning was really dissolve. So we're dissolving ourselves. Good name. It's a good warning. He also invented systems health, a framework developed from his MIT research that seeks to link Eastern and Western medical traditions. Both traditions ignore basic principles of nature. Eat raw foods. Don't even ferment them. Don't live too much indoors. Don't live outside the climate zone nature intended for our species. And don't depend on laboratories, doctors. He also invented echo mail. Echo mail. Sounds like copy mail. A company founded in the 1990s that provided intelligent email management and filtering services. Very nice, very nice. But he forgot to invent intelligent email content creation software. That doesn't exist, and maybe there's no market for it. Wouldn't you know? And who am I to talk? I am Kali. And what did I invent? Nothing important. Just the world's first effective protocols for developing the potential to think and be mentally super fit. I think I shared them somewhere and will do so again. Unlike some inventors, I won't even copyright my inventions. No. Well, today I want to play Kali and behead Shiva. Figuratively, of course, not like the real Kali who really beheaded the god of destruction, Shiva. So I searched for one of Dr. Shiva's strongest incarnations, and I found a good one in his podcast. Christians will never discuss the truth of Christ. Let me share that one with you. I believe it's very near. There we go. Christians will never discuss the truth of Christ. Never say never, but some people say never. Um, Let us begin.
What I wanted to talk about is address the issue of quote unquote Christians and their holier than now attitude. When I've made some very powerful and important statements. Statement one, there ain't no Messiah coming to save you. You are the Messiah.
Ain't no Messiah coming to save you. Well, after 2,000 years of waiting, we might agree. Um, but you are the Messiah. Well, that's rather flattering. I must disagree, beg to differ. Most people around me are not quite ready to play the Messiah. Um, and it's not very clear what that means. Are they supposed to jump around with a sword, judging sinners? Not sure. I don't like that option. Perhaps messiahs could be people who know how to think. Yeah, not so easy. Not many people are doing it. Not many people even know what thinking means.
And if people actually study the Bible, you'll find out, and if you talk to real scholarly Christians, that there's no heaven outside of here. We're supposed to create heaven on earth.
I've read the Bible maybe too closely for some people's taste. I don't remember anything saying, please create heaven on earth. Its location is entirely obscure. Um, and if we are supposed to create it on earth, I'd like for Dr. Shiva to explain what it would look like. Hmm? Would it be full of bioengineers like himself, creating transhumans, or would it be a little more natural? Hmm, I think I prefer the latter.
Most Christians, 99.9%, do not want to talk or walk the walk of how Christ lived.
Well, there's a reason for that. He got himself crucified at the end, didn't he? Who wants to walk that walk?
They'll talk about all other shit, but they do not want to focus on that. How we actually lived.
Well, how did he actually live? It is a good question. Before surrendering to the cross, I wonder who paid his bills, who made his clothes and sandals. Did he have a job? Hmm. The Gospels um, do not support him having a job. No, he was too busy performing miracles. And if you can perform miracles, I suppose you can also make money grow on trees.
And what occurred 7 days before he died?
What did occur 7 days before he died? I had to stop and think. No, I had to stop and research. And turns out, 7 days before he died, he resurrected his friend Lazarus from the dead. Well, that's impressive, impressive. Sadly, no one else got that honor. He only had time to resurrect one man and later himself. But are we supposed to imitate that miracle? Is that how we walk his walk? What's Dr. Shiva um, intimating here? Hmm? I don't think I can walk that walk either.
So what were the actions of Christ? What the fuck did he actually do when he was here?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to bleep that. Dr. Shiva does have a way with words. This one perhaps is not appropriate for young people. Is it appropriate at all for a discussion on Christ? Oh boy. Um, well, I do admire his courage. His- I'll leave it at that.
He fought the fucking establishment.
What? No, that's quite a claim. I do take exception. Again, he fought the effing establishment. Please. Why the effing? Please do not take any word for sex in vain. That's one of my commandments. And besides, maybe more importantly, Jesus did not fight the establishment. No, siree. He bowed to the Roman Empire, praised its soldiers for having the faith, obedience, and devotion Christians should have, etc.
Was organizing a movement at his time. And 50% of it were women, by the way.
My gosh, the the false claims just roll off his tongue as easily as spittle. He was organizing a movement. What kind of movement? A bowel movement, perhaps? He started a movement by collecting 12 disciples and telling one of them that he will be the foundation of a cult that will worship him. Great idea, great movement. Imagine if I did a few good things and told my students to start a religion that worships me. What would you think of me? I mean, no matter how great my accomplishments, that would seem a little narcissistic. And 50% were women, really? I don't recall that. I don't recall many women in the Gospels at all, besides one who gave her oil away, wasted her oil on him. Mm, no, not many came near him. One or two more. I forget their names.
And his movement was to break the existing establishment, which was highly centralized.
And I guess the Roman Empire was quite centralized, but um, he's a better man than me if he can find evidence in the Gospels and the entire New Testament that Jesus was interested in creating a decentralized world. He did grant the honor of being the foundation of his future cult church to Peter, just one man. That sounds quite centralized to me. But hey, who am I? I'm just Kali.
And Christ had a program too, which no one wants to talk about. He would go among ordinary people and eat among them. He wouldn't eat among the learned.
Well, how learned were the disciples that he ate his Last Supper with? Some of them could write. That would be a skill uh, restricted to the upper class. And some paintings I've shown in my recent Easter Feaster special show Jesus eating in luxury with very wealthy people. But hey, I'm just presenting evidence.
And this is a very important thing. Bottom line is Christ had a program. One of the programs that Christ had, which again, 99.99999% of Christians don't want to talk about, and he did this multiple times. The Sadducees, who were like the Costco's, the centralized structure of the Judaic traditions, when you enter their temple walls, you have to leave your animal out. You have to buy their animals.
Hmm. The temples had animals in them. That's true. That's in the Gospel of John. And Jesus did remove them from that one temple, even as he overturned the tables of the money changers. Um, we might wonder, what are animals doing in a synagogue? I think I answered that in my Easter Feaster special. Um, where do we go next?
Like a fucking shop. And that's how they profited. So Christ sees this shit. He starts whipping the shit out of them, turning over tables.
Whipping I think that's in the Gospels too, and that you're right. Jesus used a whip. Well, there were animals there, but I think the implication is that he whipped the Jews in the synagogue. Well, that's a bit excessive. That might be why Dr. Shiva used the word abusing. Yeah, I guess that's accurate. Peaceful, loving Jesus was whipping people or animals. And it's the same thing in the Bible, really. People are animals, unless you're one of them, the godlike ones, you know. Well, not me, Kali, no, I'm just playing a role.
And abusing them and saying, you guys aren't followers of God. And by the way, there were multiple times that Christ turned over these tables. It wasn't just once, and whipping people. Now put yourself into that condition, taking a whip, whipping the shit out of people and turning over tables. Ooh, does that sound like a pious Christ who just sits around and just talks all sorts of loving shit?
I think Dr. Shiva really wants us to emulate this behavior because he's trying to provoke a revolution. So let's go to Costco with our whips. Wait, he did say the temples are like Costco, but really, are we going to have a revolution by marching into Costco with whips and overturning the shelves and tables? Is that what Dr. Shiva wants? Or should we go into political buildings, Congress, Parliament, the Senates? Yeah, that's exactly what Dr. Shiva wants, isn't it? Who knows? Who knows?
Christ was a radical revolutionary of his time. He had a mission. He was organizing people, mobilizing people. Let's talk about fucking Christianity. Let's really talk about it. Because no one's going to tell me that I'm going against their Christian faith. Really? Which Christians are they talking about? The one that had a sword in the hand, one hand in the Bible, the other hand, as they came up.
The sword, yeah, there we go. The sword and the Bible. Hmm. What was that all about? Well, it is worth considering. I don't think it's quite what we're told. I see many churches here with men without armor, just wearing robes, holding swords, sometimes a Bible. What were those swords for, if not for battle? What was happening in those cathedrals and churches?
On the shores of the brown people of the Incas and fucking killed them? Are we talking about the quote unquote Christians who put beef lard into wells and
And beef lard into wells. Now, wait a second. That's something I haven't heard before. I've heard of Jews poisoning wells, but beef lard? Christians putting beef lard? Well, let's go back. I seem to have forgotten my special slide. showing that beef lard was added not long ago, was added to ghee, that special butter derivative, which is supposed to be an ingredient offered to Hindu gods. And apparently, a Hindu or someone, adulterated that. So Hindus were offering beef lard, which is perhaps a sin if you're a Hindu. I don't think, well, what do I know? Um,
Force people to convert? Are we talking about the quote unquote Christians who are absolutely fine with the bombing of Gaza? Which
hmm, the Christians who are fine with the bombing of Gaza. Well, why not? I believe the Palestinian population is still growing. They're still dressed well. So I think God's protecting them somehow. They apparently the Jews can drop as many bombs as they want. Palestinians will continue dancing and pointing their phones at buildings before they explode. They are prophets, electronic, digital prophets.
fucking Christians are we talking about? Are we talking about the Christians who stood up and fought? This is why they don't want us to talk about religion and politics. No, we should talk about this because it's going to expose these people that they're not walking the walk of Christ.
The famous walk of Christ was the one in which he carried his crucifix for his crucifixion by the state. Yeah, he was quite a fighter. Imagine that. Imagine carrying your electric chair to the electric chair room. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Not something I want to emulate.
They're fooling themselves, they're fooling others, and they let evil continue. So Easter's coming. Let's look at what indignities Christ has to go through for what he actually did. Let's start talking about actions. Our movement is actions. They said we could get on the fucking ballot. We did.
He did, he did. Um, well, I'm not sure. Was he on the ballot? Yeah, I guess he got some. But I didn't really follow. I lost interest in Shiva some years ago. Mm, but this article doesn't bode well for his claims. I think he had some 100,000 plus signatures. Was that for something else? I get ahead of myself.
They said people can vote for a naturalized citizen. We did. We said
I think there's still a constitutional law against that.
hundreds of millions of people's lives during COVID. Talking about vitamin D3.
Yeah, somehow he actively distributed vitamin D3 during the years 2020, 2021, maybe afterwards. And he's taking credit for saving how many people's lives?
We did. They said people can vote for a naturalized citizen. We did. We saved hundreds of millions of people's lives during COVID. Talking about vitamin.
Hundreds of millions? Did I get that right? You saved the entire US population and then some? Wow. With vitamin D, how good is that? You know, um, what do we know about vitamin D? Ah, what happened here? Well, vitamin D turns out is rat poison, if you really want to know. Well, I haven't confirmed this, but I don't doubt it. One of those scams. Um, and perhaps more importantly, we should know better. I mean, we're trying to replace nature with laboratory-made, for-profit trash. I don't see the animals living up north needing any vitamin D. If we really belong in the south, where there is more sun, let's just move south. Maybe Dr. Shiva could help us move south. Um, Otherwise, I think we're better off not taking vitamin D or any other vitamins. Um, in fact, the word vitamin itself is a warning. Vita is Latin for life. Min is Latin for less. Combine them and you have less life. These are the word games our masters play with us. Beware, beware of the stuff they sell us. Vitamin, less life. We have been warned. They are laughing.
A fucking penny. Who collected signatures to fire Fauci? We did. Who exposed the backdoor?
I did check that if he really was responsible for getting Dr. Fauci fired. Could not confirm that with anything on the internet. But like, he can have that one. We don't need Fauci. Fauci.
On the Twitter, day and night, fucking fighting in lawsuits. We did.
Hmm. Fighting lawsuits. For what was that again? Fighting lawsuits. Oh, by the way, Dr. Shiva also believes in contagion theory. Yes, he's on top of the science field. Quite the conventional scientist. Gatekeeper, perhaps. Um, he recommends beating viruses with doses of copper, probably nanocopper. Well, I'm sure he learned that from nature. You know, you go out in nature, you see the animals licking copper deposits because they're desperate to beat those viruses with a little copper. That's how they avoid pandemics. Ain't that so, Dr. Shiva? Aren't we tired of this anti-nature, pro-profit pattern? Please, I'm sick of it.
Who exposed the backdoor portal to Twitter?
I don't know anything about twits. Well, let's pass on that one.
Night, fucking fighting in lawsuits.
Oh, fighting in lawsuits. Let's think about that in the context of a podcast largely about Jesus. Lawsuits. What did Jesus say about lawsuits? Hmm. He really believes the justice system can save us. I mean, Dr. Shiva does. But Jesus advised settling legal disputes quickly out of court to avoid harsh imprisonment. Yeah, because the ruling class rules and creates the rules. According to Matthew 5:25 to 26, Jesus told his followers to come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with him to court, which is a way of saying, uh, don't go to court. Because once in the hands of a judge, a person, you could be in prison. This avoid court at all, uh, if at all possible. This message is consistent with Jesus' no resistance way of life. Don't actively take your abusers to court and settle out of court, or just let them go. Turn your cheek. Hey, yeah. Turn your cheek. Honestly, Jesus only fought against Jewish authorities, minor players in the Roman Empire. And Shiva really does the same with his anti-Zionist rhetoric. Top Zionists are really just fake Jews who belong to the Western European aristocracy that still rules the world. I do believe that. Um, and we have a little more.
It's time to fucking give credit to the real Christians. I say, fuck you to all these fake Christians. I'm just done with that. Let's go really read the Bible and live and connect with the life of Christ. What do you...
Wow, such language. It's so inspiring. I'm shocked we don't already have a revolution on our hands. Hmm, what could be the reason? Um, who knows?
actually did? Not what you want to think that he did. Not the thoughts, not the ideas. Actually, what he fucking did.
Miracles and well, one temper tantrum in a temple and suicide, basically. Yeah, good example.
Are you willing to take a whip? Are you willing to lash out and expose these people
Like Hallie is doing at this moment, exposing those people. How ironic.
who manipulate the stock market every day?
Yeah. The stock market, is that something we want to clean up? Bring your whip into the stock market? That sounds interesting. Would Jesus invest in stocks? Would he give his money to corporations or to his church or to the poor? Would he invest in any of the Fortune 500 companies and collect profits while sitting on his ass? I ask ridiculous rhetorical questions.
Who want to increase the military budget to $1 trillion? Who subjugate humankind? That's what being a Christian's about.
We got to stop that military industrial complex ASAP. Unfortunately, Jesus had no qualms about the Roman military and the Roman Empire. As I said, he once praised a Roman soldier for his devotion to his empire.
Watch.
Well, that's quite enough. Fortunately, that was the short version of a longer video I could not find, and I'm glad I didn't. This was amazing. Kali triumphs again. Um, one more thing to share with you, lest I forget.